the largest tank of its kind, the heaviest one ever built, and one of the largest ones, the most formidable, made to intimidate and to undermine the enemy's morale. This is the Panzer VIII Maus, and you are watching the old tanker. The Panzer VIII Maus had an overall length of about 10.2 meters, a width of about 3.71 meters, and a height of about 3.63 meters, with a weight of 188 tons. It was the heaviest tank ever built, and it had a crew of 6, with with driver and radio operator at the front, and the rest of the crew in the turret at the rear. It had a truly unique layout, with the driving compartment at the front with the driver and the assistant driver, who was also the radio operator, the transmission and the engine at the center, with the commander, the gunner, and the two loaders at the back in the turret, with ammunition stored under them. The tank had sloped armor on the front and the sides, with the turret sloping from all sides. It had a curved gun mantlet and a turret front, which created a shot trap near its under its gun mantlet. It had a main armament of 188mm KWK-44, an adaptation of the PaK-44 anti-tank field gun, and it had a secondary gun, and this secondary armament was provided by the 75mm KWK-38 37, which was mounted on the early versions of the Panzer IV medium tank, and it was infantry support gun. The Maus was built to support infantry. It had a frontal hull thickness of 120 millimeters, a turret thickness of 240 millimeters, with a gun mantlet thickness of 250 millimeters. In the places where the gun mantlet and the turret front overlapped, the thickness could reach up to 490 millimeters. The turret sides and rear were 200 millimeters thick, while the hull sides and rear were 190 millimeters thick. It had 110 centimeter wide tracks for good off-road mobility. Its main armament was the KWK-44 anti-tank cannon, which was an adaptation of the PaK-44 anti-tank cannon, which was developed in 1943 and entered service in 1944 and saw service until the end of the war. This gun was capable of destroying every Allied tank of the war. The secondary armament was provided by the 75mm KWK-37, which was mounted on the early version of the Panzer IV. It was mainly used for infantry support, and as the Panzer IV was originally built for infantry support, its early versions were equipped with this gun. The Maus also carried a coaxial machine gun on the turret, and it had pistol ports on each side of the turret. The machine guns and the pistol ports were added because Heinrich Guderian rejected to the Maus because of its inability for close quarter combat and its lack of machine guns. He rejected and said that it would be necessary to add some machine guns because this design flaw was also inherited on the Ferdinand tank destroyer. There were two bronze prototypes built in all, with both being destroyed until near the end of the war. The first V1 prototype was equipped had a wooden mock-up turret, and it had on a first production chassis. The V2 was equipped with the first production turret on the second production chassis. The V1 was to be equipped with the second production turret, but this never happened because the V1 was destroyed before the changing could take place. The V1 and the V2 were destroyed by Russians, and while the V1's hull was mostly intact because it did not have any ammunition stored underneath, the V2's hull was practically fully destroyed, while its turret remained more or less intact. A Russian general ordered that the hull of the V1 to be mated with the turret of the V2, and this gave rise to to the the mouse that now stands at the Kublinka Museum. The tank was then taken by the Russians for testing purposes. It was delivered in March 1946, and after testing, the tank was taken by Kublinka Museum, where it stands to this day. You're watching the old tanker. Please subscribe and like. Of course, you can dislike it if you didn't like the video. Thank you. This video was made by a viewer by viewers' requests. Now that you finished this video, you should watch this one, or maybe this one.